Hello, it's March 9th, 2014, and I'm going to talk to you about the radiation levels across the U.S. There's a couple points here that need to be made because when people in California are looking here and see the green, they might not be taking a look at the exact levels that are considered normal for them now. Let's take a look at a chart here first so you can see what we're talking about. 12 to 25, low, pretty normal. Those you don't really have to worry about, and there are a few places with those. 50 happen once in a while, no real reason, keep an eye on it, but once you get to 100 and higher, you have an alert. No need to panic, but try and figure out what's going on. Stay out of the rain and avoid unnecessary trips. So basically lock yourself in the house, right? No. 150 is a real risk of cancer if exposed for a year. The 100 and 150 is what I want you to focus on here. And remember, if the radiation gets inside your body, it's 20 times more powerful. Now let's go back to this little map here. This is the Nuclear Emergency Tracking Center. And as you can see, if you go, say to San Francisco, 213. Now remember, 25 to 30, we're going to say 30 for the purposes of this, is normal. So 213 is far over 30%. You're talking a significant amount. 5 times, over 5 times the amount. 6 times would be 180. So you're talking significant rises. Now let's take a look here. Well, let's close that down. Take a look here. 256. That's even higher. Now we can go to the middle where they show the RADCON level 3 is elevated and rising. Let's say Texas, Laredo, 303. But at least they're still marking that as rising. So if somebody from Texas looks, they see, okay, it's rising. They know to look. We can go over to the East Coast and see on the RADCON rising 173, so it's rising in certain parts of the East Coast. Now consider this. From the bottom of this page, it says how they do their numbers and whether to put it into the level 1, level 2, 3, 4, or the alerts. Is RADCON 1 will be the middle radiation background level range, and it will be compared to the current radiation at that monitoring station. The increased change between the middle radiation background level and the current radiation will set the RADCON levels 2 for small increase, 3 for higher increase, 4 for top of the range over a 3-month time frame. So the reason there are no rising, elevated, concern, or alerts over on the West Coast here is because over the last 3 months, that has become the new normal. So the new normal has levels that are a real risk of cancer if exposed for 1 year. We're talking they're over those levels. They're in between that and the real risk of cancer if exposed for 90 days. So the poor saps in California aren't even aware of the fact that they are 5, 6, and 7 times, some of them 8 times, increased background radiation levels on a daily basis. Now, if you go over to the EPA and see the health effects, not only is it a risk of cancer, but other than cancer, the most prominent long-term health effects are teratogenic and genetic mutations. So I'm going to put a link to this in the article associated. Don't just look at the green and the RADCON 3s and the RADCON 2s. Actually click the little greens and take a look at the number, the CPMs up here. This is our new normal. Now, did it come from Fukushima? Is it coming from our own radiation plants, our nuclear plants? We really don't know, but we do know that they were far lower before the 2011 Fukushima disaster. And since it's coming across the Pacific, and remember, we're not even due for what they call the major plume until this year. How much higher are these going to get? That's just something to think about.
We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.